Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and this is part 2 of my, oh let me lift it up because, oh no, it's going everywhere, not a good idea. It's the, oh you can see from the title, it's just part 2 of my palette, not collection because it's not everything I own, it's just the ones that are displayed in the plate rack that I use as a palette rack. So we were halfway through. And if you want to go and visit that video, go and check it out here. I'm hoping this is the right place. I bet it's here. Go and check it out here. Who knows? Who knows who it's going to be? Anyway, next palette is from Coastal Scents. Now, I was sent a massive care package from a friend online. She wanted to send me some makeup. I was so grateful. And in that came this Coastal Scents. It's got 26 colours and it's also got blushes. Now, I hadn't used this and then I saw it in my storage and I thought, how perfect is this shadow palette? Like it's so on trend, it's unbelievable. Now these are meant to be blushes, maybe 1, 2, 3 is, but these two, that as a blush is basically that as an eyeshadow. I cannot see how anybody would use that as a blush. Let me just give you an example. No, you couldn't use that as a blush, could you? Let me just, I'm just gonna, no, it's way too dark. Maybe it's more for deeper skin tones. That is the idea for me. And that looks really pale. I don't think that even looks like a blush. Yeah, that would be a really good highlighting colour. Anyway, the point being is this is stunning. This is one of those eyeshadow palettes that has sort of slipped through the net. Coastal Scents, their eyeshadows are very similar to Morphe. I think they're all part of the same private labelling company. This has got 26 eyeshadows in total, I think. Ow. Oh no, it's, well there's 26, there's 22 eyeshadows and then there are 4 blushes. That's what's there. And this is just so pretty. It doesn't have a base. You know, looking at it, this looks like it now, even though it's a blush. I might use that as a base, I don't know. But it's so beautiful and they're really, really fantastic shadows. I'm just going to give you a swatch of some of them. And she picks one that isn't that good. That's clever. I think they're quite good though. For the price, now I know this is a budget brand, so there you go. Yeah, they're pretty good. For the price, these are, let me just show you this up close. These are pretty good shadows. I know that they're more of a budget brand in the US, but they may not swatch amazingly on the hand, but again, it's one of those things where sometimes they just work on the eyes, and I created a really pretty look with this, and I really enjoyed it. It's so warm and lovely, and I decided to keep it because it's super thin, like it's much thinner than some of the other ones. I do actually have 2 Morphe palettes that aren't in this, they're in a drawer I believe, so my apologies that they're not here. I actually don't know where they are. That's a bit concerning. Oh well. Next palette has got to be one of my favourite palettes this year and for the end of last year, and it is the Sweet Peach palette by Too Faced. I haven't really owned a large palette from Too Faced before, and when this came out I got my hands on it straight away. Really posted that it was out, and she posted the link and I literally went straight on. I didn't care whether I wasn't going to eat that week. I had to get my hands on this palette because I felt like this was the palette that would work well for me. Now if you've got the other chocolate bar palettes, it wasn't worthwhile getting this, but I didn't. Well, I did and I didn't. This I have been blown away with. Now a lot of people struggle with some of the colours, but sometimes you just have to work at it and work out which ones work better with which brushes. You can see here that I have hit pan on this shade. A lot of the time in a lot of my palettes there is going to be a cream shade that has hit pan. It took quite a while to get there though, and although honestly I've used this so much, there's barely a dip in any of these. And I would go so far to say as I would try and pan this palette, because I think this is stunning. If I was going to do a pan that palette challenge, I would probably do this. Now that it's part of the permanent collection, I know I could pan it and then repurchase it, and I would not be disappointed. I think this is beautiful. I think there's just something about this, besides the smell, that just makes this the perfect palette for me. I absolutely love it. If you haven't tried it, then definitely go ahead and try it. If you do want to try it and you don't want to splash the cash, I believe there is a dupe from Makeup Revolution, as there always is. So next palette, let's hope it doesn't get too warm. It's two palettes actually. We have two Makeup Addiction Cosmetics palettes. We've got the Flaming Love palette and the Meadow palette. These are perfection. I'll show you why. The Makeup Addiction Flaming Love was the first one that they brought out, and this is 8 shades of the most buttery, soft, beautiful, just stunning. This is one of the best palettes I own. This shade, this purple, you can't get purples like this. Look at it, just look, this teal, even the pink. I mean, come on, you know, how, I want to make it so that you can focus on it a bit better. It's just stunning quality. They are the best shadows I've ever had in my life. I love them. So you get 8 shades in here. You get sort of 5 neutrals, 2 colourful, 2 or 3 colourful in this one. And then in the Meadow palette, it's a bit more colourful. It's a bit more spring-like actually. It's one that I'm going to be cracking open. Just look at it. It's so beautiful. You get a really deep navy. This amazing duochrome, which I've just never seen anywhere before. It's like a blue with a green shift. It's so stunning. I'll just show you that. Absolutely beautiful. I love these. I love them. If you have never tried them, these, if you were going to pick up one palette ever, you've got to pick up these. They're so good. So good. Honestly, I think they're the best ones in my collection. The best shadows I've ever used. And I have a lot of different shadows here. But they are just... And I've got everything from Natasha Denona to, you know, Viseart somewhere. Although that's not in this, this storage. I just love them. I just love them. And I just think if you haven't tried them, they're worth it. They stain. Look, they've stained my arm. That's how good they are. Next up is a Nui palette, but it's a goodie. And this is the Tarte Pro palette. And just look at this. 16 mattes, 4 shimmers, a duochrome up here. I don't think I would use anything else but this. I think this is one of the best palettes that I have ever bought in terms of neutrals. This is probably the best palette for somebody who is wanting to try some matte shades or anything like that. Oh, and now the ice cream van's here. Anyway, I don't want us to be spending too long on this palette. I've spoken about it so much. I have, I think, done a review on the blog. If I haven't, there will be one soon. But it's just so nice. You get like a look per line as well, which is so clever. I think that's so lovely. It smells of vanilla, which is really different. You don't often find that. I think this is a great one to have. If you're going to buy any Tarte product, probably this one I would go for. Definitely this palette. I just love it. It's very well loved already. Next up are 2 rose gold palettes, it seems. I have a bit of a thing for rose gold. One is a Makeup Revolution palette, the other is Makeup Obsession, both by Tam Beauty, so that's probably why they look similar. So let's talk about this one first. This is the Flawless 3 Resurrection palette. This is a new 32 eyeshadow palette by Makeup Revolution, and this, my dears, is the dupe for the Anastasia Beverly Hills. I know it doesn't look anything like it, but trust me, I've done an eye look, it will be up soon. This is the dupe, or it might even be up, and if it is, I will link it wherever it needs to go. Honestly, this is incredible. If you haven't ever tried any of their 32 eyeshadows and you want to give them a go, oh, you know, this is nothing compared to the Anastasia Beverly Hills in terms of quality, the feel of them, but longevity and the colour payoff and all of that, actually, it's pretty good. And this was £8 and you get 32 shadows in here. What's not to love? And then my little homemade palette that I got from Makeup Obsession. I just wanted something that I made myself, and one that I know that I would definitely use and enjoy. So I picked this up, and actually I think it is pretty good. The shades are good, but they're also quite good quality. This is the shade Burnt. You can see there it's quite highly pigmented. We've got the shade, they're so soft, Rapture, which is there on my finger. Let's pick a lot of them are mattes actually, because I just wanted something a bit more matte. This is a sort of highlighty shade there in the, what are you? It is a highlight in Peach. And then we'll just take this reddish. Yeah, that's one of the only shimmers I've got. So as usual, the quality is just beautiful because it is a Makeup Revolution style quality. You can see them there. Yeah, they're just really nice. And again, it's one of those things, if you want to customize it to take it away, you can, and I love that. So yeah, perfect palette for taking away. It's got a massive mirror and all that good stuff, which is what we all want, isn't it? The last three are customizable palettes as well. So this one is my customizable palette from Crowd Colour. It's got my logo on and it's a marble sort of thing, and this is my blush palette. So in here I've got 5 Makeup Geek products and 1 Benefit. This is the Hoola bronzer that came out of a set, and I put it next to this because I believe they're a dupe for each other. This one is the bronzer from, I can't do it, I've got nails. Oh, I've just got my finger in it. It's a bronzer called Bad Habit. It's Warm Fair from, it's a contour shade from Makeup Geek. And then the other three, these 3 are blushes from Makeup Geek, and this one is this is the Porcelain Fair contour shade. So they are just lovely, and I do keep them in here and I do use it a lot. And then I have some magnetic palettes from My Kitco that I wanted to get. These are larger than the Z palette type thing, Z palette, whatever you want to call them. I've got one which is matte and one which is shimmers. I decided to break them up into that sort of category, and I went from neutrals to colours in both. So it has a range of different shadows. I've got Makeup Geek, BH Cosmetics, Hot Pots, I've got MAC, everything in here. So I've got all different colours in there, mainly neutral with a few bright blues, which I was really into. And then in this one is all the matte shades that I have in singles as well. So it's quite nice to have them in separate palettes. I've still got a few more to go till it's finished, but I'm quite happy with the way that they are right now. So I will keep them as they are. I do like being able to see my shadows. I don't know why. I just like that. I know exactly which ones I want to pick up then. There may be some other colours that I want to get in the future, but I'm pretty happy with what I've got right now. So I'm just going to keep these as they are until I maybe finish some or I see something that I want to get. And that is, well, annoying. That's what it is. It's annoying. The blooming ice cream van. I'm so sorry. Anyway, that is that. Thank you so much for joining me. Give it a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. Comment down below if you wish. And go and check out part 1 if you didn't see it, but hopefully you did. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.